Hi, everybody. Welcome to my classroom. This is the lesson on maps for our Synergy Learning Unit on the solar system. This is, if you see the screen here, we're looking at the social studies playlist within this unit. And ultimately, this is the SSM1 for maps. So really what I want to talk to you about is kind of how to get started and what a map should look like, my expectations. So here we go. In this activity, this is worth one moon rock. You're going to create a map of your world. You got to think about all kinds of things when you're coming into this. First off, let me go to the student view so you can see what this is like. There's three different expectations. Different expectations for different levels. Level 6s, I'm really just looking for a physical and political map from you. Physical meaning that we can see things like rivers and oceans and lakes, etc. Level 7s, I'm really looking for the physical, political, and economic map. So we have the physical. We have the political, which shows countries and names of cities and that kind of a thing. And then we're also having a economic map where it shows kind of like, hey, what kinds of things are happening on your planet as far as like how people are making money. Are they fishing? Are they hunting? Are they something futuristically making stuff? And that's totally a word. And level 8, then I'm really looking for you to do the physical, the political, the economic, as well as a population map. So showing me where people are living on your planet. So 3 different expectations. You can find them all in the level requirements here. The first step is to go through and watch the introduction video where I'm a space cat, which is awesome. And then really, I really want you to go in and do the quiz is lesson, which talks about different kinds of thematic maps or theme maps. And then you're going to go and right here, using a piece of printer paper, create a map of your world. So let's take a look at some things here. This is the document camera. And I want to show you something. This is a map of Southern California. And Disneyland is in Anaheim, which is just like kind of south of Los Angeles, like the actual capital, like where Los Angeles, city of Los Angeles is. It's more down here towards kind of like Long Beachy. It's in this area right here. Can you see Disneyland on this map? No, you can't. There's a thing called Hearst Castle, Hearst Mansion, which is up here as you get towards up this way, San Luis Obispo. It's not quite that far. It's actually down in here. San Simeon is a humongous like compound mansion from this really, really famous guy, William Hearst, back in the day. And you can't see it. And the reason you can't see it is because we've zoomed out so far on this map that all we can see are really larger features. Okay. Now this is a thematic map in that it shows me roads and how to drive. If I wanted to drive from Las Vegas, which is over here, to Los Angeles over here, which road I would take would be, I think it's I-15. And you would take that road. So this is a thematic map as far as that goes. But when we're looking at things, and this is, we're going to go up to Northern California a little bit here. Can you tell where, let's say, mountains are or forests are by looking at the map? And the answer is yes, you can, because you can tell kind of where it's been shaded. And we can see different shadings and different colorings mean certain things. And so ultimately, when you're drawing your map of your world, I want you to, number one, I want you to zoom out, okay? We're not zooming into the level where you can see houses, houses or stores or whatever. We've zoomed out. So just with that in mind, I want you to think in another term. I want you to think of getting away from Earth. The things that we're going to be doing on your planet are not Earth. And it doesn't mean that your planet can't have water and mountains and trees, because those are just very Earth-like things. It totally can. But your planet doesn't have to have those things. Your planet could be, and if you've seen like Star Wars movies, like Tatooine, where Luke is from, is completely all desert sand. The entire planet seems to be sand. I don't know. They've never really shown water on that. Or thinking about other movies or stories that you've read or seen. What are those futuristic, like make-believe worlds like? And so yours can be like that. So just with all that in mind, you have to start and you have to draw a map. So I'm going to draw one right now with you. This right here is my example map, and I'll have that pinned to this activity as well, so you can look at it. It'll also be on the wall, whatever. So blank paper is where we're starting. My friend Ken is joining us. He's a little bit scary looking, but that's all good. And so I have a pencil, and the first step is just to have like an outline of your country or your world or whatever. Think this is the entire world, like really. And so I have a lot of, I don't have much space. And I could really just zoom in maybe on one country that's a part of my world, and I could say, hey, there's more countries in this world, or maybe the rest of the planet is unexplored territory, or whatever. If we're just going to do like a classic map, I'm just going to want to make like a outline of something. Now I'm going to do this relatively fast at first, and then go back and kind of detail it out. So I'm really just going freehand. I want to have some areas where it goes in like a bay and going around and going down. Doesn't matter. I think I want to have some space to make some islands out here. So I'm going to leave some watery space. Okay, pretty good. Now, most maps and most planets and most worlds aren't exactly like that smooth of a border. Although if you zoom way out, it kind of is. But what I really want to do with mine is now I'm going to go back over it all and just kind of make it a little more, I don't know, like squiggly, I guess would be the thing that I would call it. Like the land isn't exactly straight. And so maybe I get to a point where I kind of come in for a little ways like that, you know, and that's maybe where I'm going to have a river that's going to come out or whatever. And so I'm going to keep going like this. And I'm just going to make it just a little more realistically squiggly looking. There's another river coming in. I like that right there. Here's my bay. This is like a peninsula. I'm going to deviate from that and come around. And so now I've added that. Don't forget my islands over here. That's cool. I did it. This island is going to have a little couple of islands on the side. And then maybe like a land over there. Okay, cool. So now I have my map. And so now I need to think about what kinds of things I want to have. Like, I should have a forest. I should have mountains or water or lakes. If I'm just doing like a generic map. If I was like really thinking outside the box and this is all just going to be desert, then I might have different areas of the desert or whatever. But this is my map. So now I really need to think about, like I said, like, I don't know, where would mountains be and how would I represent mountains? So I want to show mountains. I'm just going to do a classic like mountain look. This symbol on my map means mountains. So I need to come down, I need to make a key, and I need to say this symbol equals mountains on my key. So people that are looking at my map know what things represent. So here's my mountains. Cool. Just like anywhere, here in Colorado, we have mountains and we have the Rocky Mountains. If you go to Switzerland, there's going to be the Swiss Alps. If you go to Tibet, you're going to be in the Himalayan mountains. So all those different mountain ranges have names. Okay, so I need to come up with a name for that. Rivers usually come from mountains. So this river comes from up in there. It goes that way and it kind of wanders off. Oh, it also goes out that way. Cool. So now I'm starting those things. I might have, hey, let's have a lake over here. This is like a big inland lake, almost like the Great Lakes, like Lake Superior or whatever, which also comes from the mountains and goes down into that lake. And I'm going to give this lake a name. Where would be a good spot for a city on this map? Where would people have cities? San Francisco is on a bay. And the reason it's on a bay is because a bay is a good place for a ship to come in that doesn't have big waves. It's kind of protected. So a really great spot on my map might be, let's say, up here. And so this is going to be, I'll do a capital. And so a capital is like a star within a circle, and that's going to be a capital. And that'll be the capital of one of my countries, let's say, which, okay, let's have countries. A country line is going to be a good like way to do this. And I like to do like a line dot like this. And so this is going to be one country up here. And I might have another city up here. So I'm starting to get kind of some of the basics down. As I start making some of these things, I do want to come up with names for them. So I'm really going to look at, let's look at Minnesota. It seems like a good thing. Okay. Yeah, dude. Yeah, no worries. Say hi, Hannah. Say hi. It's just a video. You're gonna be famous. So as I'm looking at this, I see things like, oh, here's Fargo, or here's Moorhead, or here's this one's like Three River Falls. You're not gonna want that, dude. Some of these things are specific. Like I really wouldn't want Minneapolis on mine because that's already a name. But as I'm coming in here, I could be like, oh, look at this is Frazee, Frazee. That might be a good name. I'm going to use that. The Frazee. These are going to be the Frazee Mountains. All right. And so I'm going to come here and I'm going to write Frazee Mountains. Frazee. Okay. And so now I'm starting to label things. I want to label my rivers. I want to label my lakes. I want to label my islands. This area here is called a strait, S-T-R-A-I-T. This is going to be the Straits of Bruno, because Bruno is sitting in class right now. The Straits of Bruno. Okay. And so I'm labeling things as I go. I'm labeling the names of cities. I'm labeling those things, and that would be that would take care of my level 6 requirements. So level 6 requirements, you're all good to go. Level 7 requirements. Level 7 is required to do an economic map. So an economic themed. If we were doing an economic theme map of when Colorado first started out, we would have mining. That would be a part of the map where we were doing mining. On our map here, this is a futuristic science fiction world, so I can kind of do whatever I want to. I'm going to say that up in this section up here, and I'm gonna kind of shade it off, and I'm just going to do like, let's do lines, and if I had a color, I might do a colored lines, and I'm going to go like this. So this is going to be a shaded area. This shaded area is what do I want to do? Mining? Maybe they're mining some kind of material there, and I would have to make up some name. These are the scree mines. Okay, scree. And they're mining for scree up there, sure. So then I'm going to say like this area here is a mine. Okay, and so that's what they do up here. Down here, by all this water, which would make good sense. I'm going to do a whole nother area here. And this area, I want to do something similar to what I did there where I kind of shaded it in so that I can do some shading, but I don't want to do the same as I just did. So if I had a color, I would probably choose a different color, and I should have come with a color, but I don't have one. So maybe this is just a circular, like that's what this is going to be. Is just circles. Okay. The circles is where we have farming. It's by water. It makes sense. So on my economic map, I'm going to be like, yo, down here, there's farming. I don't know what kind of farming there is. It's not going to be corn because this is a different planet. So I'm going to try and think of something else when I read my story or whatever. But I would give this farming area a name. These are the fields. The fields of Sanchez. Okay, and that's because Louise is in here too. So anyways, so you get the point. As I'm going along, I'm making different names of things in different areas. And I'm thinking about, do I have more than one country? If this is a country up here, like this is Culpeper, then down here would be a different name. This is Wilson. Okay, and this over here might be a different country altogether, and I will call that something else. So as I'm going, I'm doing that. Last but not least would be the level 8 requirements is a population map, and so for that step, I really do need to have colored pencils. So I'm going to get some colored pencils for that, and I'm going to come in here. And so I'm going to say, okay, cool. Like this area, where is my, this is my capital. And a lot of people live in this zone. Okay. Where else are people living? By the screen mines, there's a big town right there because the screen mines are here. And there's this little like river that kind of goes inlet. And this is a great spot for this is the land of Wilson. This is the city of Will. Okay, and in the city of Will, all the miner people, that's where they live, is in this area. So you can't live in the mines, but they all come here to like export whatever it is they're mining the scree. I'm just making this all up. So this is also an area of high population density. So that I can come up here and I can say, okay, this color equals a high population density. I have to define that though. That's going to be like between let's say 1 million people, 1 million and up. If it's over 1 million people, then it gets that color. So then the next section might be something like 500,000 to 1 million. And that is going to be like, oh, down here in the fields of Sanchez. In the fields of Sanchez is the city of Amy. And this is the city of Amy. Say hi, Amy. I'm making a video. Here's the city of Amy. And so down here in the city of Amy, They are a lower population city. And so that's the color that it gets. So as you can see, I'm going to keep going on this. The only other things that I would be missing would be something like a compass rose, which you can definitely take the time to do something nice. Never eat soggy waffles. And draw something nice if you want to. And then we're also missing a grid system, so I can do like a latitude and longitude type thing. And when you do that, you're definitely going to want to use a ruler, making straight lines. And you're going to want them to be evenly spaced out so that, I'm going to use just like maybe the width of a ruler as I go across. And you can give these any kind of a numbering system you want to. You can do like a battleship system where it's like this is A, and that's B, and that's C. And I want to go over this way. So kind of like if you've ever played Battleship, you can find specific spots on maps, okay? And if you go ahead and if you do look at like my atlas here that I started out with, they do have that same kind of a system. You see there's A2. And so down here actually in this little thing, I can look for a city like Fort Dodge is at C4, and I can go to C4 and I can go up and I can find Fort Dodge is in here somewhere in C4. Fort Dodge right there. So we can use that system to try and find things on the map. Okay. If you do have questions about how to find things, please let me know. And good luck. Turn your maps in. Make sure they're attached to this document, or sorry, to this activity, so I can grade them. All right.